on this.
And you're not getting the cake every time the CEO reports.
Okay, well, if you want cake, this can't be your last night, so you have to decide.
Yeah.
Which is
You have to go get it, would you?
You have to write out the purchase order.
Yes. Yes, there is.
Okay, our goal is 1 hour. They said an hour and 10, we can do this in 1 hour.
That's why I said make sure
Okay.
you got those ready.
I'll do those.
I think our time on the agenda, Eric's been shrinking that time. I think he's seeing if we can still pull it off.
Challenging
Well, if it gets,
It's 6:30 in Readfield Lane, please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much for joining us for this regularly scheduled meeting of the Select Board. First item tonight, 26088, the minutes of the Select Board meeting of April 6th and April 15th.
was I here for both of those?
You were not here for April 15th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 6th as presented.
Second. Motion a second for April 6th minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor? That's, you were not there for April 6th. Okay, perfect. So
4.
4
Abstaining.
and Rebecca is abstaining. And then April 15th.
I was too here.
You
That
were?
was the public hearing.
Yeah, you were here.
I sat quietly over there. I know, that's unusual. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 15th as presented.
Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? That's unanimous.
Those were
Perfect.
awfully short, Angelica.
26089, the warrants 41, 40 through 44. Is that you, Dave?
Yeah, it is, and I kind of dropped the ball on us.
We said an hour.
We could do it with you if you want.
Right. Yeah, I forgot to bring my notes on that.
So we had the school at 371,000. We had Horn Construction at 47,900. Is that the last snowplow?
Those are the big ones. That should be the last one.
Should be the last one. Well, no, because we got April. Should be the last one.
And $38,052.50 to the town of Winthrop. Was that for the one that Catherine put her foot in her mouth with?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look
Yep,
at
that was ambulance. I hit reply all by accident.
It was more frank than we're used to.
I backpedaled a little, which was appropriate. I'll make a motion. Well, like Dave, you want to make the motion?
Yeah, sure. Make a motion to approve, we're doing 43, right?
41, 42. 41, 42, and
Why
then,
do I have 43?
well, we have 41, 42, right?
I'm all backwards.
And then we have 43 and 44.
Okay, okay.
So it's on
I'm on the
page
wrong
6. I'll make the motion. You can second it. Make a motion to approve warrants
I'm a mess
41 and
tonight.
42 in the amount of $514,427.81.
Second. I have a motion in a second.
Who seconded it? Just pick one.
Just watch the video.
Motion in 2 seconds.
Motion and 2 seconds. Any further discussion on warrants 41 and 42? See the sun? See what it does to people? Okay. All those in favor? That's unanimous. And I'd entertain a motion for warrants 43 and 44.
Why won't that close?
We'll make a motion to approve warrants 43 and 44, total total of $85,185.66.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay. You can breathe for a second, Dave.
Yeah.
Select board
I hate that.
communications. Anybody have anything they would like to say to the public?
Eric, are you gonna talk about the transfer station?
I wasn't,
Is this a good time?
It's a great time, Catherine. Tell us about the transfer station.
So.
You've been waiting to do that.
Well, we've been waiting a long time for this, and Eric found the money because we had budgeted to fix the pad underneath the wood pile. So John Cushing dug out all the yucky mucky stuff that you sink into when it gets wet. And he filled it with gravel and good coarse material and then put a nice top on it. On part of it, the other part, the lower part isn't. There's a whole pad and like a section of it has the really nice gravelly stuff and the section to the right doesn't have as much on top.
yeah, similar material, just different application, and it's all been graded and compacted, so the drainage has been improved. But it's a lot better than what it used to be. Can't guarantee it's gonna stay that way. It's gravel with organic material stored on it, so there might be some challenges, in future years. But for right now, we have that opened up and we're accepting brush again, and it's a very nice pad to put material on.
He moved all the crappy stuff way off into the woods. He put a nice slope on it and he built the road back around and on the bottom edge. And then Matt and Edward were out and they cut a bunch of trees back and they
Oh,
put
Ed.
rocks along the edges and filled in stuff and it looks great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Jared?
So I went to the staff meeting, which was really cool for me to see all the employees all in one place at one time. So that was interesting. But I was there to actually work with them on Workspace. And I hope that they found that useful. Maybe Eric can shed light on whether that is true or not. And then we also had the volunteer brunch, which I'm hoping someone else will talk about. But I did have 2 chairs approach me and ask for help with Workspace, so I'm hopefully gonna work with those chairs to help them with that as well. So that is moving along. Since we've moved in-house for that, it's really moving at a much faster pace now that we've stopped trying to hire it out. And then one of our award-winning volunteers who was sitting behind the curtain, that's not a curtain, it's a sheetrock wall, even though he refuses to say it, would still really appreciate a heat pump back there. And I was
agree.
hoping Eric might give us an update on that tonight.
I have no update, so I'll just add that to the list
Okay.
as
Can
a
we-
priority.
Yes, because it's getting hotter now and it's really
Yes.
hot back there and that's bad for the equipment as well as for Dr. Oz.
Don't call him that, come on.
Okay, Professor Oz, the wizard.
I was just gonna highlight the volunteer brunch and thank the Angelica, Kristen, and Teresa for all their work. It looked awesome in here. And I don't know, did anybody do a count? How many volunteers?
We tried. I don't know what we think.
Didn't you set up for 60?
Yeah,
And
Well-
I think it was pretty full.
it was pretty full. I'll count my napkins.
I counted 60 at one point.
I did 60 napkins. I'll count it, so it's not
Yeah, but there was definitely a great turnout. And we did give out the
Spirit of America.
Spirit of America Awards. So those recipients this year, if you didn't read that or see it anywhere else yet, was the Readfield Radio Volunteers. That is Kevin Kelleher, Bill Starrett, Andrew Osborne, and Dale Potter Clark. Thank you. And then Jackie Drulin from every other board in town.
And not just what you did to decorate, but the food was amazing.
Food was great too, yeah.
That was really nice. I know you didn't make anything, but Teresa cooked, what did you say, 4 pounds of bacon on Friday?
So much bacon. It smelled like bacon in here still on Monday.
It was yummy.
That's awesome.
Nice time.
Great. Okay, next we have boards, committees, commissions, departments. We do have the minutes from the Age Friendly Committee, Cemetery Committee, Board of Trustees, the Planning Board, the Rec Board, the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee, and the Trails Committee. So thank you for submitting those timely. Any member of the public like to address the board? Anybody online? Okay, moving on. Moving on to appointments, reappointments, and resignations, 26090, and consider the appointments of ballot of election clerks.
I make a motion to approve the slate of ballot and election clerks as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to appoint the list in our packets. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you very much to all of those volunteers. Eric, you have something for us to sign? Yes?
I do.
Wonderful.
Headed your way.
Okay, old business, 26048, discuss the final draft budget for fiscal year 2027. Eric?
All right, so I did include the summary sheets here. This is very similar to what we had originally discussed on the 15th with a few changes. And what I'm going to do is just highlight those few changes as a matter of expediency.
I got it.
And I'll say that it was almost all good news as we went through and revised the budget that one last time. And part of it is due to the fact that we have to kind of reconcile and check in with the assessor. And in doing so this year, we realized that we hadn't actually captured the full or any of the value of the solar exemption reimbursement that we get from the state of Maine. For two reasons. We weren't sure that we were going to get it, and we weren't sure how much it was going to be. And so when we did review that, we realized that we had received a $33,000 check for the solar farm at the top of the hill. And the way that works is the state says, well, you can't tax these solar farms, but we'll give you half the value back in state funds. And that sometimes happens and sometimes doesn't, as you know, with state policy. But in this case, they've been holding to it, and we've been receiving the funds. But this was the first year, this December was the first time we actually received those funds. So that project, two things are likely going to happen. We're going to continue to collect on that, and there's a good chance that value will go up. So that's a very positive thing. But we're not counting on that value going up necessarily. But what we are counting on is the second new solar farm coming online. And that's the one that's up closer to Carlton Pond. And that farm is about half the size, so we assume roughly half the value. So between the two, we're looking at approximately $50,000 in revenue for solar for next year, which is a huge benefit to us. It does have other benefits in that you know, it's not costing us a lot of infrastructure dollars to have that there. Unlike you know, if it was a subdivision, we might have a lot more impacts on the tax base. So there's some good things there. It's not just an eyesore, but that $50,000 increase was a big benefit for us. Additionally, the RSU budget was reflected their final amount, which again was better than what they had started with. So we were under 5%, if I remember correctly, for that school budget increase, which is very good. And I'll say a result of the kind of the hard work that group, the school board and the administration's put into trying to be efficient. And we'll talk more about that later.
So it came in at 3.96, it says.
What's that?
3.96.
3.96 or less than 4. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is phenomenal.
That's unheard of in the Marana-Cook district.
It really is. It's got to be one of the lowest I've seen outside of COVID in 10 years. So very impressive there. We also, because of those solar farms, CMP has had to add infrastructure to their holdings in Readfield, and that's also taxable. So we added about $1.1 million. That's a really nice lake house equivalent in value. That's full tax value for CMP. So those things increased. So these are all things that either decreased our expenditures or increased our revenues. And the mill rate ultimately it landed at 11.369, which will get rounded up. But that's where we are with the budget. All of those numbers were reviewed and fed into the warrant, which we'll talk about next. But I just wanted to give the board an opportunity to ask any questions, make any comments before we move into the warrant.
That final number, 11 something, is that town, county, and school?
That's the combined mill rate. Our municipal mill rate is looking to be 2.09, down from 2.14. So
You're talking about the increase or the mill rate?
the mill rate, sorry,
Okay.
yeah, because you're talking about the mill rate. So our municipal mill rate is 2 mills. The total mill rate is 11 point something. So again, it's a roughly 18% of the mill rate is attributed to the town.
So what's the percentage that the town budget is going up this year?
We're up about 7.8%.
Okay,
So better than where we were before that $50,000 revenue line came into play. But still higher than what we want. But I think we are at the point, as you all know, where we have to fund the things we have to fund. Capital projects, we have obligations for union contracts and staff, and the cost of everything has gone up dramatically. So I don't like that number. I don't like a number more than 4% ever really, but we've had to have a couple of those in recent years. But I think that we're doing the absolute best we can. So that's my explanation, and that's about all I can say on it, really.
and is it the next budget that we're going to consider that will have the revaluation included in it?
Correct. So the next time we do a budget, we will have a new schedule in place. And so that's another good point, Catherine, that by having some of these things in place now, we can avoid confusing the situation by having additional capital expenditures and things like that coming in at the same time that we have a change in the schedule.
Well, I guess that makes me feel better about putting away money we did for the beach and the sand and salt shed.
Yes, and our other usual capital items,
Right.
as well as a new item, 10,000, or not new, but reintroduced item for, what's it for? Open space. Yeah.
Yep. It won't go away, but at least next year, let's try not to put any of those in so we don't confuse the situation. That's causing a lot of havoc in other towns, so. I like this kind of meeting, simple.
Any other questions for Eric on the final draft budget?
Great job once again, Eric. All those charts and graphs and pictures and explanations. Great job.
Thank you.
Eric,
I'm just curious how much more my CMP bill is gonna go up, take care of that 1.1 million.
Well, if that increases their bill by 0.05%, you're probably going to see about 2 or 3%.
Right.
I did get an
Factor of
email from the
6.
PUC
All
that
good.
they have asked for another rate increase. So.
Yeah, well, the PUC's never denied one.
They did. They denied the
did?
last one. Yeah.
Imagine that.
All right, 26072, consider the final draft of the fiscal year 27 town meeting warrant.
We're gonna make this easy, Angelica.
So we're gonna vote on these tonight as,
Yeah, so that's the process. You'll be
Yep.
voting. I mean, these right now, they are in with yes for everything for everybody.
But
That's
it's a
just
draft.
presumptive, doesn't mean you have to do it that way. And that you are certainly welcome to change any of these numbers. I wouldn't recommend it. It would make it quite challenging, but everything's on the table at this point. But this is the final review and approval.
Has the budget committee already voted on these?
No,
No,
they
they do
vote
it when-
after you because
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
change things, they cannot.
Okay,
okay,
I'll make a motion to approve Articles 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 as written.
Second.
I have a motion second to approve Articles 1 through 5 as written. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous.
I'll make a motion to approve Article 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those are for administration, municipal maintenance, community services, and recreation parks and activities as presented with a select board recommendation of yes.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? That's unanimous.
I'll make a motion to approve Articles 10, 11, 12, and 13, which is protection, cemetery, roads and drainage, and solid waste as written with the select board recommendation of yes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? That's unanimous.
How many we doing? 40 something here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All as written with a select board recommendation of yes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for articles. Oh, I forgot what the first one was.
I think
now.
it was
14 through 24. Thank you, Mel. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous.
I'll make a motion to approve Article 25, 26, 27. As presented, that's for property tax abatements, general assistance, and capital and special revenue accounts, capital reserve and special revenue, as written with select board recommendation of yes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous.
Angelica, which one did I stop on?
27.
I'm going to do some of these a little different. I'll make a motion to approve Article 28 and 29, two capital reserve accounts for the beach and open space as presented, select board recommending yes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? It's unanimous.
I'll make a motion to approve Article 30. It's a project agreement with the Kennebec Land Trust with a select board recommendation of yes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? That's 4 yeses.
We didn't do discussion.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Any discussion?
This one, yeah.
Okay.
I think there's rare places where it always looks like we rubber stamp this, although we've looked at everything. But I think there's situations where it's good that we put things out to the town to vote to, but I don't think we always have to say it's a wise use of money. So when I look at it, I say, we put in Article 28 for the beach. That kind of goes into open space, doesn't it? Essentially, the beach could be
The beach is
part
open
of open
space.
space. You know, we debated whether to put the 25,000 in Article 27 for the salt shed. That's a wise idea to look ahead. So I kind of look at it like if I'm spending my own money, and I think, would I spend $33,000 to have access on my neighbor's 27 acres? So I'd have to say no. I think we have a responsibility to spend money wisely, or suggest that we do. So that's just my 2 cents.
That's okay.
Thank you, Dave. So I have a motion and a second on the floor. So all those in favor for Article 30? There's 4 yeses. Against? Linton against. Okay.
Did I do good keeping that one separate?
I think so, Ken.
Okay, I'll do a bunch of revenue things. I will make a motion to accept Article 31 about revenues, and if my mouse will move. Oh, what is it doing? Article 32, 33, 34. All with a, as written, with the select board recommendation of yes.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Can't believe I forgot to say that on the one we usually discuss.
On the one he
On
wanted.
the one I knew he would want
There
to
was
discuss.
something weird going on there.
Oh, what did we miss?
Did you say 31?
31 through 34.
31 through 34. All those in favor? That's unanimous.
I'll make a motion to accept Articles 35, 36, and 37 as presented. And we don't make a recommendation on any of these.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Again, I think it's important to just quickly mention that we have maybe done this quickly. People might think they listen that we just read through 37 things and made a vote, but
Right.
this is, I don't know how many times we've talked about each of these items this year, but it's been a few, so.
Absolutely.
At least a dozen.
We
It's
usually-
including like the interlocal agreement, which was a separate discussion, a separate meeting. So I just wanted to highlight all those different things.
Yeah, there's been many meetings and discussions on all these warrants, so it's not really a rubber stamp.
No, it's not.
At this point, it is,
Yeah.
Right, it is at this point.
because we've already had all the discussions.
It took quite a while to get to this state.
It did.
All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you very much, everybody, for your work on these. Eric, once the budget committee completes this on Wednesday,
Yes.
when do you expect to have papers going out with the information to folks?
Oh,
The newspaper
The
thing.
newspaper?
yeah, the explanation document, the newspaper thing was sent out, yeah.
Because I
I'd
believe
have
that's
to think
important.
about that. I haven't really thought about that at all. I've been focusing on other things.
Yeah,
But I'll expect that it would be within the next 3 weeks. We want to have them out before absentee voting or shortly thereafter.
Yep.
So I would say between 25 to 40 days before the town meeting vote is about when we would expect to see that.
So that's around the 1st of May, which is Friday.
Okay.
Doesn't feel like
Well, we're
that.
still
but
60 No, I'll have to get on that.
Still feels like March.
It still
That's the
feels like
problem.
March, yeah. But
It's
no, I'll,
70 degrees out. It does not feel like March. Let's
Well,
just
except
be-
for today, okay?
And yesterday.
sorry, Eric, but I
Yeah.
just think those are
No,
really,
that's,
they're really
I-
handy
I
pieces of
hadn't
information.
even thought about it, so I gotta run through that this week then. Yeah,
Mhm.
but we'll be able to get it out, I'd say, if that's the case, then it should be going out next week.
That would be
Great.
perfect.
Thanks.
That's probably more like 20 days, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, that can't be right, because we don't even have they just went to the printer like 2 weeks ago.
What date is town meeting? Is it the 10th or the 13th?
June 6th this year.
June 9th.
Oh, the
9th,
Is it-
Yeah.
that's when the primaries are.
Yeah, so mid-May is still 30 days out, so we got a couple
Well,
weeks,
no,
yeah.
that's-
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
2 weeks out.
It's, yeah.
But
Well,
you're gonna
the
start
9th of
working
May
on it
would be
this week.
30
You're gonna
days.
start working on it right off.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very
The
much.
9th of May is 30 days. The 8th is the next Friday.
Mm.
So next week is perfect.
Okay, moving on to new business. Item 26091, consider a special event liquor license for Kent Sale School. They look so funny now. They come in through the email way.
Yes,
Well,
they do.
I read through it and it all looks complete to me.
Perfect.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
I'll
fine.
make a motion to approve the liquor license request by Kents Hill School as presented.
Second,
I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion?
Just to point that it is 2 separate licenses, just
Oh,
two
because
separate,
it's 2 days.
two separate activities, but yeah, I agree that they're complete and all of that, but I just wanted to make sure that you were fully aware that there are two distinct licenses there.
I'm going to withdraw my motion. Want to withdraw your second?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve 2 liquor licenses for Kents Hill School for 2 different events as presented.
second,
I have a motion, a second for the 2 events posted in our packet.
can
Any
we
further?
just confirm with them that they won't be serving alcohol at 8 AM?
I'll ask Kristen to check in on that. Yeah.
Does it say?
Thank you.
Well, that's no fun.
I'm not going anymore.
So the first event is for June 12th and 13th, 2026, and I think that's their kind of their summer festival, or summer when they get
Alumni
alumni to show
reunion.
up, alumni weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
And the second one was for May 22nd, which is a separate event, graduation. Yeah.
Which is 5 to 7 PM, so that one's not,
That one's more.
that one didn't jump out at me, but the 8 AM definitely did.
Okay, I'll indicate that we would prefer they not.
They
serve
said, I think it was detailed in there that there's like a cocktail hour at some,
Yeah. I think
at
it
some
does
time.
too.
but the whole event that's taking place is that
Correct.
broader
yeah.
time. But I'm trying to go back and find that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Next, we have item 26092, consider a CMP poll permit application for Nickerson Hill Road.
So this is just a standard thing, anytime we have something put in the right of way, CMP puts in new poles, the select board reviews and approves, basically. The installation, this one is for the Kennebec Land Trust structure, barn, center thing that they have going in across from Saunders. So they wanted a mid-span pole to shorten the distance and also take up some of the slack, so they can have two goals there. And I don't see any issue with this from a maintenance perspective or anything, so I'd recommend that the board approve it.
And this is on Nickerson Hill?
Correct.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the CMP pole permit for Nickerson Hill Road as presented.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Okay, just lost it. Item 26093, consider select board action on the RSU 38 budget and warrant. Eric.
So there's two things here. One is, no matter what you think about it, you have to sign it and move it through the process. So Rebecca probably thought she didn't have to look at that again, but here she is.
And we don't have to vote to do that. That's a mandatory thing,
That's
right?
something that you're just confirming that you've received a copy of it and that's legally posted. And then Kristen takes it from there and finishes the process. The other piece of this is, I guess, a discussion around whether or not the board would like to take a position on the politics, I guess, happening around the vote on May 13th, I believe.
Yes.
And whether or not the board would encourage residents to support it or just be informed about it. Other select boards have been talking about this. The Wayne Select Board, I think, took a position stating that they just wanted the RSU to follow the law and they were considering legal action if they didn't, which I thought was a bit strong. But regardless, I think it's important for the board to discuss this because it is a pressing community issue with major financial impacts for our taxpayers and also pretty significant educational impacts for our students. So although we do have a school board, they don't operate in a vacuum, and I wanted to give the board the opportunity to talk about it.
Did everyone receive the two documents from Karen Smith? Okay, I know I did, so I didn't know if everybody got them. I thought they were really informative. If you read both of them, there's some duplication. But was I correct in reading that if this budget is not approved, it will actually be an increase?
Yep, it's my understanding as well.
But the school budget's still going up by like 2-point-something%. I know Readfield share is somewhat higher, but so how does that work? So this is going up, but if we don't approve it, it will go up,
Even more.
which doesn't make sense because if don't they revert like we would revert to the current budget?
Right.
Right, and the current staffing.
Yeah. So you'd pay it, you wouldn't.
Oh, so it would
Eliminate those
include the eliminated positions and they would all have their
Right.
pay increase. Okay,
Because you can't go against the union contract as well as, so those
right.
six, I don't remember, I think it's 6 positions.
Yeah, I
in
don't
there.
recall.
Is it more than 6? But anyway, whatever the
I
number.
thought it was 12, but 6 of them were retirements, so there were some were unfilled,
Yeah, some are unfilled, but I think,
anyway.
yeah,
There's 3 or 4 that were.
nobody lost their job.
I think it came down to there were 3 people that they hoped would be able to find another position in the school
Mhm.
if they had the correct certification and qualifications to fill some other position. Okay. So that's an interesting situation, right? That if you vote the budget down, you're voting for an increase,
More of an increase.
for more of an increase. Okay. Well, I know for years, we've all said that we would like to see the school be as responsible as possible and to hold costs down. And this is the first time I can really see that happening. As they've explained, it's very difficult. If you lose 30 kids across a district of, how many? 1,200?
Total.
She left the board and left all that information.
So let's just say there's 1,200, because I'm not exactly sure. But if you lose 30 kids or even 100 kids, that doesn't mean that they all came from one place, so you can eliminate a position. But as you see those kind of decreases in student population year after year after year, then it becomes profound. And I think that's what they've now realized, that they need to cut and do some consolidation.
Well,
And
I think it was very clear there's been trends, right? It's not just
Yeah.
been a one-off, it's been a 10-year trend.
Right.
10-year trend in 75-year-old buildings,
Right,
causing it, it's 75-year-old buildings across
all 4 towns.
all 4 towns.
And so the political part that Eric was referring to is that there are 2 towns where they're moving, well, they've already moved the pre-K out and they're gonna move the K out this year. And those 2 towns may or may not be happy about that. And so we are one of those other towns. And how do we feel about that?
Yeah, I'm taking it completely separate from this year's plan portion of it. I think we've gone to these, I've been going to these meetings for 5 years, and I've listened to the board talk about raise. I remember one year the maintenance budget increased by 50%. Maintenance budget 50% was, that's insane. And it is because of the age of the buildings, all that maintenance sort of stuff. And the conversation we wanted to know was, how do we stop that hemorrhage from continuing? And, well, I think they're doing that. They're trying to stop that. I think it's hard sometimes to hear it from someone from Readfield, because it sounds like it's not impacting Readfield the same way. But I don't plan on leaving Readfield, no matter if my kids are in school here or not. And so my taxes will be impacted the rest of my life. And in this conversation early on, we didn't know if my wife had a job. And I still thought it was a great idea, because I think it's super important that going forward, I can afford to pay taxes here. So I would like to see if we could have Eric draft something for us that our board supports the work that's happening with the school board and the current budget as it stands.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that. I think I've said it before, I'm not sure, but I'll say it on the record now. I was here on the select board, so many years ago, when we gave away the elementary school, signed the document and gave it to the district. And we did it with our eyes wide open. I think a lot of people, when we were forming the district, thought we were going to become a district, and we really didn't. We just became a title district, and we still have 4 distinct elementary schools that operate and feel like they're not together.
Yeah.
And I've always hoped that we would become more of a district and that things would join together. And I fully support the work of the board trying to bring costs into a place where people in all 4 towns can afford to have their kids go to school and stay living in the towns. And I think Mount Vernon had a huge increase this year because their property tax assessment changed on the state level, much more so than Readfield's, and their tax increase is incredibly high. And it's irresponsible of the district not to address that. And if they're trying to do this, we all have to take the suffering, right, together. So I think that's important.
And I think that would be something I'd like in the newspaper article that you're gonna create this week.
I was gonna suggest that would be the best place for it, so we can maybe have
I mean, we always
statement or whatever.
address the school budget in some way, in
In some
terms
way,
of
yeah,
its
we do.
percentage or not, but I think maybe this year, if Eric, if everybody agrees that as part of this year, that you have a statement from us that's supportive of the budget process and.
Sure. Well, when I work with you and other board members to put that document together, we'll get those drafts. We oftentimes have a letter from the chair, and we have other informational pieces. So however it comes, we'll make sure that we have a statement in there that's meaningful and talks about those things. Financial side. I think it's also important to note the educational side that that disparity in education between the districts. Some people think they're getting a great deal by having a 6-person class size, and it's not really the case for those kids, but also it's taking resources away from kids that are in other areas because you're running a 75-year-old school. That money isn't going to education. It's going to a 80-year-old furnace or something like that. And it's a kind of a shame.
Yeah.
If you look back at the history, and Dale Potter Clark is doing a great job with all of her radio shows. Readfield had 10 elementary schools. There was one in every neighborhood. The idea was that nobody walked more than a mile to school. And so they were
Uphill.
centered all around town, and kids would bring firewood to school to heat the school building. And that has changed over time, and we didn't always have Maranacook. And Readfield kids went to Kents Hill School, and times change. Education places change. And this is another one of those times where things are changing. And it doesn't mean that it's worse, it's just different.
We've buried our heads in the sand for so many years now. I mean, it's gotta happen sooner or later. You're just avoiding the inevitable. So I'm glad that they are taking the bull by the horns and making plans to get it done.
And it's a very thoughtful process they've laid out to work. I think it's only through next March because they want to have a plan in time for the next budget season, but to try to involve people from all the communities to come up with what's the long-term plan going to be. So.
Does that work for you, Eric?
That does. I really appreciate the discussion, and I will get ready to work on all those things.
I'd actually like to make a motion to ask Eric to write that letter to include in the news article and to pass it by Sean and Dave for approval, so it doesn't need to come back to the whole board.
Second. Motion a second. All those in favor? That's unanimous.
That just got the three of us out of another meeting. Because they meet anyway.
Okay, Eric, I noticed you did add a thing in MMA that I didn't read.
Yeah, it's basically a nomination form for the Legislative Policy Committee. If any member of our board has an interest, it's a great opportunity to help influence what happens in Augusta. MMA does have an effective lobby, and we do have a very good policy committee where discussions like what we just had around the school would happen with state level issues that affect municipalities. I'm not sure if Rebecca has an interest, but
No, I can't
you
have an
can't.
interest.
Too much of a conflict.
That is.
Okay, all right. I thought maybe, but if you want to say anything more about it, but I think it's a phenomenal group, and it's a great way to be involved and help defend municipal government from state overreach.
There are some great discussions that happen at the policy committee. There's 2 members from each of the 35 Senate districts that are elected by their peers. And every bill that has a municipal impact gets put before them and they get to discuss it, pros and cons. It's from small towns, large towns. It's a really good group of people and there's some great discussion that happens. So if you're interested, please put your name in.
Okay, that's just, it's out there. That's all.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
You can find me another day in the week.
Yeah.
I'll put it in.
Now, I said we needed to be done by 7:30, so I don't know that we should adjourn this early. I'll
Let's
make
go
a
get a
motion
cake.
to adjourn.
Motion to go get a cake.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Well, you'll be back next time, so.